Alright, what's going on? It's JT. This next video is going to be a walkthrough of how I use kdenlive video editor. This video editor, kdenlive, is for Linux only. I like it because of all the options that it has. It has a lot more capabilities than OpenShot video editor, which I covered a year or two ago. They both have a similar workflow, and OpenShot is, I think it may be, I haven't used it in a while, but I think I remember it being a bit more stable, without having to worry about a bunch of crashes, just crashing at random. I think I remember OpenShot being a bit more stable, but as great as it was for the types of videos I did most of the time, I ended up getting to a point where I wanted to do certain things, especially transitions and effects, that I felt would be better in kdenlive. So I started having a lot more instances where I would stop mid-project and while working in OpenShot and have to stop and rebuild it in kdenlive to do the certain things I wanted to do. But and OpenShot is available for Windows and Mac, is unlike kdenlive, from what I remember. You may be able to build it from source, I don't remember. Yeah, kdenlive has a lot of features that I'm able to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the video project, the One Tonight instrumental, and what I'm gonna do is recreate it during the screencast. So this is the completed project, and these are the tracks, and I'll show a decent walkthrough of what everything is. But for what I'm really going to do for right now is I'm going to take every clip and I'm just going to push it way out of the way so I can reference it if I need to, but I don't want it to be a distraction. Just going to fade in or zoom in some more over here. So basic menus, file, edit, project options. Some of these are the same as other places. There's some redundancy here, which isn't bad. These same tools are right here. Clip options, timeline changes, play, and a lot of the stuff that I actually care about, it's gonna be over here. A lot of the stuff in here that I actually care to do, I'll probably end up doing it through the keyboard or clicking what may seem like a random button and having to explain it, because I'm not using screencasting software that's going to tell you what buttons I'm pressing on the keyboard. View, there's different options. You can show the audio spectrum for the audio, just audio being played in general, a library of the stuff, settings, configurations, and help. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section for the clips I have, I'm going to move it out so you can see what you're looking at. I'm going to end up moving it back later, but these are where you'll put in the tracks that you didn't, the media files that you'll end up putting down here as tracks. This is where the effects will go, or you can see the clip properties. Right now, this is for my logo. And these are the effects. And what you see here is these icons. This means all effects, audio and video. This is only video, this is only audio. I'm gonna change the theme so I can see what that says. Show custom effects. Okay. And favorite effects. I don't mess with those very often, as you can tell. And down here for the tracks, I can lock it so you can't make any changes. You can mute the entire thing or disable video for the entire track, which is good for troubleshooting, especially, or when the computer can't handle everything that's going on. So you can just disable the audio and or video for one or two tracks that aren't very important to what you're trying to do right now when it starts doing the skipping, trying to keep up with the frame rates. I didn't show much, you see. So these are the options you have when you create a project. I know I'm not going in a linear order. Just try to bear with me. These are all the options you have. I don't have a very good grasp on what they are and what they mean, other than the basics of looking at the screen resolution and the frames per second. I usually simply stick with the default, which I don't remember what it was, unless that's my default for now. But this is probably the second time I looked at it. This will probably change at some point. Okay. And this is the preview section. That's fair enough, simple enough. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be clean about this. I'm gonna move this down. I'm gonna try to move this up some so I can see all of these. Yeah, 4. Need to see 4. I'm gonna do some labeling. I'm gonna put the audio file down here. That's just a drag. You can see it. I'm gonna rename the track. And I can do the same changes here that I could do up here. I want to lock it, mute, or hide it. Reset. I don't need to do that. I got the audio for the one tonight. Need to put the logo here. I'm gonna end up zooming in so I can drag this out. I'm just gonna zoom out as much as I can so I don't have to keep doing this. The nice thing about kdenlive is it has the auto locking, so I don't have to guess and zoom in to figure out what's right. It'll automatically sync with another file and other files. Effects will do the same thing, or transitions, which I won't be doing here. I don't have any reason to. But so I got the logo here, and the title clip is, what's the best way to explain this? So the title clip is, as you can see, is just a black square. But the reason I did that was because with these options, I can create a color clip. I can create any color I like. I can do black. 5 minutes. But it's a rectangle. And I don't want that once I start going into adding the audio spectrum. Which is why I did the title clip, which allows me to add a square And there may be a better way of doing this. I don't know of it as of right now. What I do is I go in here and I try to get this horizontal, vertical. I play with these settings until I can get exactly what I'm looking for. I think this should be 80. That's that. And then 1080. Not 82. Horizontal, vertical. I have that. I can do show background. That would have showed me whatever else would be on the screen at this second to help me get everything where I want it. I can edit the colors, add animations, edit the Z index, which will make sense to you if you do web design, which pretty much means how prominent is it on the levels of visibility. Simply put, what is in front of what. So it's a 0. So if I have a bunch of things that I want to see on top of each other in a certain order, I will put the highest Z index to whatever I want to be in front of everything. And everything else is just to be able to see things. Create, add, create templates, add text, add images if I wanted to. So, okay. Now I have 2 of them. I'm just going to get rid of the one I just made. That's my title clip, which is just text. That's all it is. Simple text. It's there. Doesn't need to do anything else. I wanted to have the title of the song in there. So a lot of talking, not doing too much. What I wanted to do a couple months ago was to have I don't remember what it was, but it was a project I was working on, and I wanted to do a video that had the audio spectrum visualization on it, which pretty much means the waveforms, right? I couldn't figure out how to get that from the kdenlive documentation. I started playing around after I started working on the videos for the releases I've been putting out. And after putting out Real Man Remix, I went in kdenlive, told myself I wanted to figure that out for one of these house tracks. And I did, and it's a lot simpler than I thought it would be. All I had to do is click on the audio file, click on the audio effects. Where is it? And remember what it was called. Audio waveform filter. There we go. Almost. I forgot it that time. So I'm going to turn this down. If I pull this all the way to the bottom, all the way to the beginning, I'm going to click here. Now what you see are these red boxes. I'm going to play here. And as you can see, the order of the tracks is applying to the videos here. I haven't done anything with the Z index here. It's just saying that because the logo is up at the top, closer to the top, it's going to be in front of everything. If I do that, then I click. I'll click off of here. I'm going to let that play. I'm going to right click, press zoom, and there are some issues, as you can see, with seeing certain things. Depending on the themes, there's a bit of a compatibility issue between the software and the Linux distro or distribution or operating system may be using. I just know where the certain buttons are. Full screen. As you can see, the waveform is now in front of my logo, and that's not what I want. So I put it at the back, and now you can see it's behind the logo. Really easy. Audio and waveform filter. Just drag it over, and immediately I have what I want. And I could have just stopped right here. These red boxes allow me to move it. That's all that is. I can come over here, 100, and now what it just did was it just expanded based on that center icon right here. So what I have to do is center. I think the quick way is, I'm not going to touch that. And I can do a fill, which makes the waveforms bigger. Depress and click it again. I'll move this out the way for now. I'm going to disable the video for the logo. At this point, do I want to play with the background color? Sure. It's right now it's transparent. That's all that is. But color, I want it to be orange so that it fits the album art. I'm not sure that's the exact hex or RGB, but that's alright. I could check it. I know. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it alone. It's playing. Put the logo back up there. And started getting curious about how to make something do something else. So that's where it's trying to play the title clip right now. That's what that is. I guess I'll put the actual title clip in there first. Zoom in, drag that out, push that all the way to the left, and let that snap. And now I'll let that play, and now I have my title, and that is even on top of the logo, even though it doesn't really mean much of anything. Here, I'm going to put in my black square, nothing. Drag that out. What did I just do? You don't see that. Nothing to see there. And we have a box behind it. It's not elegant. It's not rounded. It's just a box. Not the prettiest thing, but it's fun to learn. And I'll know some more interesting ways of doing it next time. All right, so trying to add some type of elegance to here. Need to do some fades. Now, again, I'm not an expert in kdenlive, so before I go checking the reference, what I believe I did was, well, what I know I did at the end was, nope. I'm going to go with what I believe I did was I think I put a fade from black, which pretty much means that whatever is showing as a visual, it shows a silhouette of it in black, and then it fades from that into the visual. Problem is, if I disable the video, I'm going to do it. Fade from black. I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to change the duration to 30 seconds. You can see the fade in. You can already see it. It's the silhouette of my logo. It's not what I wanted. I didn't like the way that looked. And even with this here, it arguably looks better, but that's not what I wanted to see. So the effect I like to use is the position and zoom, which allows me to create certain points. And this isn't going to be the exact same, but I'm going to choose, what's a decent point? Just be quick with it. That works. We're going to go with that. Right before the spike a little bit. And there are points that I can, well, keyframes. Add a keyframe. I'm going to click here, get a nice little blue button. What that means is this can be a different setting than here. So so there's no confusion. It's still showing that. All right, so can I remember that? How long was that? 29:18. Just get rid of it. Just don't look at it. And what I want is from here, it's okay. Here, I'm going to click that link up here, and I need this to be non-existent. I'm going to center it. So it's in the center. And you're going to watch it. The logo is coming in. The red is the outline of it. And that's how I wanted to see it. Because, like I said, I didn't like the fade from a black silhouette going into the logo. I'm going to leave that alone. Come to the end 10 minutes later, all right? About right here. So now the dial is all the way over here. Add another keyframe. I'm just going to leave it alone. There's no reason to mess with it. But over here, I'm going to move this all the way to the end. So it's at the end of this item, for lack of better words. I'm going to create another keyframe. And then I'm going to push that all the way to 1. And center it again. While that's doing that, I don't really care to put that in there right now. But I'll put the fade to black in there. And I need to see where I added it. So I can click here. Nope. Won't let me do that. All right. So click there. And I'm just going to eyeball it, basically. I'm going to eyeball my fade out to that point. That looks good. That's good. We'll go with that. So now that that's done, I'm going to add that same effect to the title clip or song title. And I'm going to add that fade to black as well. So now they're coming in together. It's a lot slower than I remember. All right, that's fun. Okay. Now put the box in there. and do the same thing. I did something funky with both of these. That square moved, and there was, is it called the wave on the logo? Yeah, it's not that much. Subtle enough. So, one, zoom that back in. You can see it skipping to catch up. So I'm gonna disable the video. Zoom back in. Press yes. That's a bit, it looks a bit funky, for lack of better words. I don't remember doing that much. Huh. Alright. And I'm gonna try to guess that it was the rotate on that square. I'm gonna get that out of the way. That's annoying to look at. I don't think that was it. Or was this it? Alright. I'm done guessing. I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna look. Transform. Okay. Oh, and that's all I put on it. And look at everything else. 2 effects are there. 3 effects there. What did the wave look like? What was that? 2. Okay. Position and zoom, sure. And that is a transform. So, transform, crop and transform. And I don't need to worry about that. So let's go over here. And the only thing this had was transform. I don't remember, have the slightest clue. Actually, I think I do know how, I think I do remember how I did this. I think I started from here, which is negative 360. Yeah. And I think I went all the way over here and turned that into plus. And I'm gonna change this. Sorry about that. I had to recover a crash. That's why it's best to save every time you do something, worth your time. All right, where was I? Okay, transform the negative 360 to the end. New keyframe 360. And I'm going to change this to a crazy color. It's a better way of doing this. Could just edit this. Let's change this a bit. How about green? That's definitely going to be obvious. All right. And at that point, It's slowly rotating. Just as much as it's slowly staying up with what all it needs to be doing. And that's really it. That is the basics. That is an eyesore. I thought it was cool just to be able to do an audio spectrum visualization in kdenlive. The only other way to do an original one and have complete control that I know of as of right now would be to use FFMPEG, which is a command line program that allows you to convert audio or media files, AV files, audio and visual, from one format to another with different conversion rates and create those visualizations. There's plenty that FFmpeg can do if you're comfortable or willing to learn to get comfortable doing such commands in the command line. It's a lot to learn, but it is very interesting. I've done it once. I didn't release a video using it, but I have considered doing that in the future. And I think the other way that I know of to do it is, of course, pretty much programs, right? There's another program out there. There's a program out there that's pretty much all it does is create audio spectrum visualizations from audio files. It's actually kind of funny because if you go to their facts page, they actually mention something about doing crappy YouTube videos with audio spectrum visualizations. But it was an interesting small app. But that's kdenlive, and that's me creating the One Tonight instrumental walkthrough, recreating it, giving you the gist of my workflow. And of course, once I get done, I can press render and choose the render options, what I'm making it for, MP4, WebM, MPEG 2, change the quality, and let it do its thing. So if you got any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's certain tasks that you'd like to see accomplished with kdenlive, or if you're curious about a better or maybe a more in-depth comparison between kdenlive and OpenShot. I would like to just simply say that OpenShot does the majority of everything I would need. I didn't do much here that was very special, that was exactly needed for the video per se, much as needed because that's what I wanted to do something different. But like I said, there's other programs that's able to do that audio, that visualization for me to import later. And OpenShot could do just about everything else that I've done here. It's just OpenShot has a lot. It's a little more stripped down. So they're kind of geared towards the different types of people. OpenShot is for the basic video editing. It's great at that, and its workflow makes it a lot easier. kdenlive is if you want to do a bunch of spazzy stuff, as they have a lot of effects in here that I'm just not touching right now. You know, this list is, I'd have to scroll over and learn about what some of these things do. If I remember to change the theme. Alright. That is everything. Let me know if you have questions, and thanks for watching. I almost forgot. as everything's been going in a progressive order, the workflow onto creating a YouTube video, creating a video with open source software. After this, after I render it, of course, to check it, and then I go into working on closed captions, which I'll be covering next for this. Obviously not for this video, but I'll be going through the different ways of doing that. So that's my save, and thanks for watching. Go live lively.